Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nurul Najih Habibti Abdullah. I'm taking course DEM batch 35A.
Hi, my name is Nur Farhan Islamuddin. I'm taking course DEM from 35A.
Hi, my name is Nur Shakina binti Abdul Hamid. I'm taking course DEM from batch 35A.
The Pangkor Treaty of 1874 was a very important agreement in the history of the Malay Peninsula. It was signed on 20 January 1874 at Pangkor Island between the British and the rival faction in Perak. Through this treaty, Sultan Abdullah was officially recognized as the legitimate ruler of Perak. At the same time, the British introduced the position of a British resident who advised the Sultan on all matters except religion and Malay custom. However, the resident was given full control over tax collection and administration, which meant that Perak was now under strong British influence. This treaty marked the beginning of formal British intervention in Malay state and introduced the resident system, which later spread to other Malay states. Because of this, the Pangkor Treaty is often seen as a turning point that laid the foundation for British colonial rule in Malay. The treaty was signed by Raja Muda Abdullah, who later became the Sultan of Perak, together with several powerful chiefs such as the Bendahara, Temenggung, Orang Kaya Menteri, and Shah Bandar. On the British side, it was represented by Sir Andrew Clark, the governor of the Strait Settlement. So, more than that, just a simple agreement, the Pangkor Treaty brought big change to the political and social landscape of Perak and eventually the whole Malay Peninsula. Oh boy.
What it was between the agreement at Pulau Pangkor. The agreement between the British and the Sultan of Perak that came from an internal conflict about the replacement of the Sultan and a power struggle is the Pangkor Treaty. Signed on 20 January 1874, this treaty was signed on the ship HMS Pulau in the Dinding Strait between the governor of the Strait Settlement, Sir Andrew Clark, and Raja Muda Abdullah, who was supported by Perak chiefs. The treaty is first recognized Raja Abdullah as the new Sultan of Perak, and second is remove Sultan Ismail from the throne. He was given a monthly pension, and officially give the British power to interfere in Perak's administration through the appointment of a British resident. The background of the conflict in Perak started due to a power struggle after the death of Sultan Ali. There were two rival groups, one supporter Raja Muda Abdullah and the one other supporter Raja Ismail, that is Sultan Ismail. The division was made worse by the involvement of important leaders like Mah Ibrahim. Reason for the Pangkor Treaty 1874 is Perak was the world main tin producer even before the 19th century. The British saw Perak as a very important and strategic state. The conflict started after Sultan Ali's death. Raja Abdullah was unhappy with the appointment of Raja Ismail as Sultan, so he asked the British for help. There is 4 terms of the Pangkor Treaty. Raja Abdullah was appointed as the Sultan of Perak. Second, the advice of the British resident must be followed, escape in matter of religion and Malay custom. Other than that, all state revenues must be collected and all appointments must be made the name of the Sultan. General administration rules must be set with the advice of the British resident. The powers given to Orang Kaya Menteri over Larut by the late Sultan must be confirmed. All high appointments made when Raja Bendahara Ismail received the royal regalia must be confirmed. The collection and control of all revenues and general state administration are under the supervision of the resident. The salary and position of the resident must be paid by straight settlement government and will be the first responsibility of Perak State Revenue. An assistant resident, a British officer under the Perak resident with the same powers but under the resident, must be placed at the governor of Larut Palace. The conclusion is the Pangkor Treaty was the official step for the British to directly interfere in Malaysian state affairs. Stating by strengthening British power in Perak, it also marked the beginning of the resident system, which changed the traditional Malay system of governance.
The impact of Pulau Pangkor. The first one, impact on the island from tourism and development. Positive, boost the local economy, create jobs, and improve infrastructure. And the negative one, causes environmental strain, water shortage, pollution, reef damage, traffic congestion, and a rising cost of living for locals. The second one, impact of the island, its historical and economic significance. Historical, the Pangkor Treaty of 1874, signed here marked the beginning of formal British colonial rule in Malaya, shaping modern Malaysia. Political structure. Economic, it's a key tourist hub for Perak and is famous for its fisheries and local products like Pangkor Satay. Key deals of the Pangkor Treaty 1874. First, Sultan Abdullah was officially recognized as the legitimate ruler of Perak, replacing Sultan Ismail, who was deposed. Second, the British introduced the position of a resident in Perak. The resident would advise the Sultan on all matters except those related to religion and Malay custom. Third, the resident was given full power over tax collection and was also responsible for the administration of the state. Fourth, Sultan Ismail was not completely removed. Instead, he was given the title of Sultan Muda, received a pension, and was allowed to keep a small territory. Fifth, the Orang Kaya Menteri's authority over Larut was confirmed and maintained. Sixth, the British also provide finance assistance to help settle internal problems in Perak, such as the conflicts between Chinese secret societies and the disputes over the throne. And finally, this treaty marked the official beginning of British intervention in the Malay state, which was later extended to other states as well.